Welcome to the Pool Room podcast. I'm Sam,
I'm Jack.
And I'm Josh.
and we will be reviewing episode 1 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. Yay! Woo! It's Game of Thrones season, which is exciting. It's the biggest phenomenon on the planet, and if you don't watch it, it's a bit strange. So episode 1 already aired.
We are a week behind.
Yeah, a week behind, but
we're catching up.
we're catching up. So we're gonna shoot the shit, have a couple of beers, and talk about what we thought. So
Where to start?
we'll start at the beginning. Arya wearing Walder Frey's face and killing all of the Freys. I pretty much knew it straight away. Like, obviously,
It did seem pretty obvious.
yeah. Because, like,
I liked it. I thought that was really fitting, but I thought it could have gone in a completely different direction. Instead of killing them all, she could have used them for some purpose or something
in
like
what way?
that.
How?
I don't know. She could have got them to attack someone else.
I think
Join the Starks or killing everybody. That would actually be awesome.
she probably just wants vengeance. She just wants to take vengeance on the family that killed hers.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, wasn't she under the assumption that her entire family's dead?
Yeah, she's just come back and she's still going through that list.
Yeah.
That's true. Does she even know about
No,
she
because
doesn't
she's
know
been
about John or Sansa or any of the other
she's
Bran? Yeah.
because she's been part of the Faceless and
Yeah, the Faceless
girl
Man.
with no name, that
Yeah.
she has no identity, therefore she should not hear about any of her past
Yeah.
or the current whereabouts
Goings
or
on.
goings on about anyone currently around.
Fucking epic though, I think.
It
I
was,
liked it.
it was a good way to start the season.
Yeah, you start the season because season 6 ended with Arya killing Walder Frey, and then bang, it starts with us seeing him. So obviously, if you understand the rules of Faceless, it's totally Arya.
Yeah.
And then he brings out the wine, and John Bradley's performance, by the way, pretending to be Arya, pretending to be Walder Frey, I thought that was really good because like he was all sarcastic and shit. Oh, well done, killing a pregnant woman and slitting the throat of a mother. Like the sarcasm was good. You could tell it was Arya.
Well, then we lead straight across to White Walkers then, don't we? After all the Freys are dead.
Yeah.
And seeing the dead's walking through, coming down.
How are they going to get past the wall? How do you think they're going to do this in the show?
I actually did a bit of reading into that. You see, like they give clues away in the opening credits.
Mm-hmm.
In the opening montage, and you'll see I'm pretty sure it was last season, there'd be an image of the wall, and you could see there are a few figures walking towards the wall.
Okay.
Now, and there's a sea next to the wall. In these opening credits, you can actually see that the sea has frozen over.
Oh.
And there's more White Walkers coming towards the wall, so it looks like they'd just be able to walk around it. But
who knows?
in saying that sounds pretty fucking stupid that they just walk around the wall.
I think I read about that. Someone mentioned something about the side freezing the opening. I totally missed it. I should have watched that again before seeing. But fuck it. Do you think it's that simple to just
It won't be.
freeze the water? And would you like that if they did that? Okay, so watching the opening credits again.
Just to see whether or not this is actually going to be the part that makes it worthwhile. But it would be the simplest way to get around.
Yeah.
With an army the way that the White Walkers have built it, where you can grab any soldier that have died, you can then become part of your own army. Why would you bother going away from a battle of more people? The more people you attack, the more people you have part of your army.
And they're expendable. Like if some of them slip into the ocean, I guess, and just fucking drown, it doesn't matter. You got plenty more where that come from.
So there's the army of walkers.
Yeah, see, we've got the image of the wall from the south side where you can actually see above it and go around.
And
so
was that it?
you
I think I
see,
saw
you
it.
see a glimpse. You see a glimpse in there.
It looked frozen. Oh, there's Castle Rock for the first time. Anyway, so I don't know if I like that. Do you think it'd be more epic if they brought the wall down somehow? Because freezing the side and walking around it. The wall is supposed to be magical. Can you just magically go around the wall?
Yeah,
Do you think?
I don't see how.
Well, there was meant to be
Why haven't they done it yet? Why haven't they already by now the White Walkers for thousands of years?
Because like Bran's uncle, when they ran into him in the season 6,
Yeah,
they were saying
Benjen.
that the dead cannot go beyond this point. Therefore, something is changing with winter coming through, and we've seen that the White Walkers weren't allowed into the Three-Eyed Raven's cave.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, because they've touched Bran, so many of their rules are now changing. They're rewriting their own rules, and now they've been in contact and physically touched through a vision. The Three-Eyed Raven, they have so much more leeway.
Definitely. I forgot they touched Bran. There's been a lot of theorizing because Bran has been marked and they were able to enter the cave. Now that Bran has been let in to the walk through the wall by Ed.
Yep.
Now he can they've let, you know what I'm trying to say here? They've let Bran's pretty much given permission for the Night King and the army of the dead and the other White Walkers to come through the wall now.
Yeah.
It's probably through Bran maybe.
Can they get through that gate? What's stopping them from just breaking down the gate?
Well, now that they have permission, hypothetically.
Yeah.
It has stopped an army of wildlings.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes
Because
down to.
they had to climb the wall.
Yes. Which is possible for the dead to do.
Yeah. Like in that movie, what was it? With Brad Pitt. What's that movie? The zombie one. What's it called? World War Z. Remember all the dead bodies making a pile against the wall to climb up? Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Even if you haven't seen it, you've seen the trailer.
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've tried to push that movie out of my head just by...
They're totally gonna fucking do that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
It's possible.
they could do that. Well, it's just about the magic. If the magic is done, if they're expendable dead bodies that don't matter, you just make a fucking pile of them.
Well, now you see that the White Walkers have giants now. More than one.
Fucking awesome.
No, that was one amazing part about it, that everything that dies
Comes back.
Unless they're burnt. But obviously these weren't burnt. So those giants, man, it's going to be fucking epic. Can you imagine the budget that's been spent? There's going to be a battle with the army of the dead, the dead giants.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford to give one a fucking sword or shield back in season 6. But now they're going to have epic giants and shit.
It's because it's taken off. But I think it's
Less
going
episodes.
to be due to the magic of Bran that allows them a passage beyond what they should have been able to get to.
So what we're theorizing is either A, Bran will let the dead in because he was touched,
Definitely.
or he's gonna they're gonna freeze the side of the wall and somehow cross the ocean around it. I don't think that would be related to Bran if they did.
No,
go
that
about
won't be. That'd just
that
be
won't
winter.
Bran. That would just be the winter way. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Who knows? I'm interested to see how the White Walkers bring their army and when. Do you think this will be? Would it be this season at the end?
It's not going to happen until
Next season.
Yeah.
Jinx. Owe me a soda.
Well, they've already confirmed next season, every episode is going to be movie length. It's going to be feature film length.
No.
Yes, it's already been confirmed.
An hour and a half.
That's why it's not coming out until 2019.
What?
Yeah.
People, I'm just hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
What am I doing? A Game of Thrones podcast? What do I do? Research or something beforehand? Come on. What do people expect of me? So was this just recently announced or something?
I think I read it a couple of weeks ago or last week. There's no Game of Thrones next year at all.
Okay.
Won't be coming out until mid 2019, and every episode will be feature film length.
I don't mind that. I personally don't mind.
It lessens the blow a little bit.
I'm a patient. Does that bother you guys that you have to wait more than a year? I've got things to do with my time before then.
Well, they're going to put more time and care into every view that they do. So every person is going to have even more detail that would have been portrayed in the books if you've read them, which I personally haven't, and I've been loving it as it comes out. Only because movies like Harry Potter and stuff like that.
Definitely.
After watching
Lord
the
of the Rings.
movie, from reading the book, all of my imagined characters and perceptions of what happened changes due to someone else's view of them. So I've actually been loving watching this with having no backstory to it.
Well, the thing is, I started the TV show first, and then after the Red Wedding in season 3, I was like, I gotta read these fucking books. And the show didn't actually affect the way I saw the characters in the books. I see them as two different. Like, when I read the books, I see Tyrion Lannister looking different to how I see the actor Peter Dinklage in the show. So that's just me personally.
So I don't read.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to read, so...
No, I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't get into, like, I'll read certain types of books. I don't read these books. Like, I never read Harry Potter, never read Lord of the Rings, haven't read any of this, but I've watched everything.
Yeah.
But that can be where you can get all of this love from.
It's a good way to do this podcast. Obviously I'm a book reader and you two aren't, and then you get
I'm definitely
the best
a book reader.
Oh, you know,
This is one of the things.
a Game of Thrones book reader. You know what I mean? So we've got like different aspects of like coming at the series.
Yep.
And mind you, I only started reading them after season 3.
Oh, that's fair.
But yeah, 2019, and really a feature length.
Yeah.
So an hour and a half at least each episode.
Yes.
When this podcast is done, I'm going to look that up. I don't know if it's true.
Well, we'll have some definite answers for either our predictions or for just information that we need to source ourselves every episode.
It also gives George R. R. Martin a chance to write the fucking Winds of Winter already, because the book fans have been waiting about somewhere between 30 and 40 years for this book.
Hasn't it been just he's allowed people to write for him recently?
He doesn't want to.
Hasn't.
He wants to do it himself because he cares, but... So they're probably considering that when they're pushing it back to 2019, I think.
Possibly.
And I'm happy with that. If I can get the book before season 8 and have season 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked about the dead and the White Walkers and Arya.
Well, then we go across to Cersei.
Yeah.
Allowing everyone to come through, becoming allies.
With
well,
Euron.
in saying that,
Euron
she's
in his jacket.
killing everybody.
Yeah.
No, we're not going into Euron's jacket. That's just...
I'd totally wear that fucking jacket.
His jacket was fucking badass.
It was sick. I would totally go to a fucking indie rock gig wearing that jacket.
If you could say that with a straight face and actually record a still footage which you would actually keep as the face of the podcast, then yes, I will accept you saying that.
I don't have the figure to wear that jacket. That's true.
He looks like Liev Schreiber.
He does.
Every time I see him, all I think is fucking Sabretooth.
Him combined with Joshua Jackson from
Fringe.
Yeah, and I was gonna say Dawson's Creek, but yeah, he totally looks like Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about Euron? Well, Cersei in general, why the fuck is she still sitting on that throne? Because she fucking murdered House Tyrell and all those noble families, blew up the Sept of Baelor. That's like blowing up Vatican City, and no one gives a fuck.
She's got the mountain.
Yeah, fair.
Who's gonna fuck with him?
You could have the entire city guard turn on her, and not a single one of them really wants to have a go at the mountain.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
In saying that, is the mountain even killable anymore?
I think so.
You haven't seen anything since he's been transformed. You've seen him kill someone.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Maybe if you do you think if you cut off his head, he'd still move about? I think he's like a white, like in North of the Wall, like the White Walkers. He's one of those things, only like with kind of a mind.
Well, what was the doctor's name that injected him with all that shit? Qyburn. Yeah. What was that stuff?
We don't know, but the other thing too is this could be another reason why the White Walkers are allowed south, because their ways are being adapted and the magic is being broken from below the wall. Therefore, they can come lower.
Yes. I see what you're saying there. Or it could be like just an alternate type of the same magic. Like probably Qyburn knows some shit. Like because he was kicked out of the Citadel, he used to be a maester.
Yeah. He
used to dabble in that type of shizzle. He's pretty cool, by the way, like the actor. Good casting with him.
He's really fucking annoying though.
Why?
He's a little weasel. I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
Kind of like Sam Tarly fucking...
Oh, Sam.
Well,
He annoyed me more in the first couple of seasons, how fucking weak. Do you remember in season 3, his one job was to like send some ravens back to the thing, and then he fucked that up, and then even Geo Mormon was like, Sam, you had one fucking job. You're too fat to fight.
Yeah.
You didn't help us fight the White Walkers. You had one job to send the fucking ravens, and he balls it up.
He's the most frustrating character in the show. I can't stand
I know
him.
you don't like him. That's why I brought
I
it
can't
up.
stand him.
Why? Why not? Like nowadays, he's okay.
He's a bitch.
No, he's still not okay yet. There is no way that he's alright.
In saying that, you know that he's going to have a big part to play.
Yeah, of course.
And that, that annoys me, because I wish he had died in season 2.
It's not realistic that someone who's like, you know, not to have a go at overweight people, being someone who's a bit chubby, but like, he was weak. You know, in this universe, the Game of Thrones universe, you know, you're sent to the wall. You better be tough and smart enough. And you also have to fucking try harder. He could have tried a bit fucking harder when he was training and stuff, instead of being a little weaker.
Instead of dropping his fucking sword and then just looking like a little bitch.
And then he got killed. And then he killed a White Walker.
Yeah. Which I disagree with.
But he's in the Citadel now, which is exciting. He's starting to be a maester. And
getting all the shit jobs. So you must be happy that he's actually
literally
shoveling
the
shit.
shit jobs.
delicious. I was looking at that poo and I wanted to put some in my mouth and swallow it.
There is something wrong with you. Like
it looked tasty. No, that was disgusting. And nice to see Professor Slughorn from Harry Potter join us.
Seriously, with Filch and Slughorn both starring this episode.
Yeah, there's so many Harry Potter actors and actresses in Game of Thrones. There's Filch, who's Walder Frey. Just then, Professor Slughorn.
Who's now Arya Stark.
Even Catelyn Stark was like Hermione's mum.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like in the second last movie or something, just for like one scene, she was like the mum. I think there's a whole bunch of like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones crossover.
Well, speaking of crossover, then he's trying to go through the restricted library.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The restricted section.
I was so expecting the book to like start screaming and wailing at him,
Behind all those chains.
So he steals a book from the restricted section of like the Citadel, right?
Yeah.
And then he reads it and there's dragon glass and dragonstone. Holy shit. Stannis told you that in season 5. Jesus fucking Christ. Like it was in season 5 where Stannis was like looking at the dragon glass and he's like, oh yeah, we've got that on dragonstone. And then he totally ignores that. And then a bit of weak writing there.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually really interested in the way that all of this Valyrian steel is like coming out of the woodwork now. It's like, oh yeah, that's the family heirloom. We've never used it, and I'm pretty sure it's still decently sharp. But hey, look at that, we've got one.
And Sam's dad's just gonna leave it against the wall and not protect it while.
Well, sure, you can have something on the mantelpiece of like it's going straight to the pool room, and we're keeping this up somewhere. But seriously, if you've got something that is going to be amazingly powerful, why would you, or just like the endlessly sharp sword, why not use it every day? If you're not worried about it dulling or breaking, because it's essentially an indestructible sword that either Kingslayers have and all of this.
All the main noble houses.
Yeah. Why not use it more often?
Yeah, like you'd have that on you. Like, what's his name? Randall Tarly. Why hasn't Randall Tully mentioned that Sam stole the sword from him?
Because his weak ass son stole it from him, and now he's got to live with that.
Yeah.
That he's forever had a go at Sam and realised that
his bitch son stole something from him,
and he can't do anything about it because all he can do is whine. Because A, he said you were never going to have it, and now he's got it.
Yeah.
And B, you've disowned this kid, but you allowed him into your home, and then he stole your shit.
Yeah.
How are you going? Were you going to tell the guards? He stole my stuff.
You look foolish.
Yeah.
He'd look totally foolish.
So unless he's going after it himself, that's not happening.
Yeah. Nice to see a throwback to season 4 when we see the Hound and the Brotherhood of the Banners, and we see the
Brotherhood without banners.
What did I call them?
Brotherhood of the Banners.
The one thing that they don't have.
I was just testing you guys. I knew that. I was just testing you. Yeah, Brotherhood Without Banners. The father and daughter from season
4.
season 4, that the Hound totally mugged them, and Arya was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
They're not going to survive the winter.
yeah, good memory, by the way. And now, like, it's nice to see the Hound have some character development, and he's growing as a person, and he felt bad.
Yeah. He was one of my favorite characters.
I like him now.
When he was traveling with Arya,
Yeah.
and he was an asshole.
Yeah.
That was his peak popularity.
Yeah.
But you could tell that he cared for her. Like, he fucking protected her and shit.
He
And
he
awesome.
definitely he was always thinking about the money, but he actually did look after her.
He did.
So yes, definitely. Every time that he'd do something arsey and she'd have a go at him, I'd be like, "No, I'm okay with this still."
Yeah, definitely. I think even back in season 1 when he killed that butcher's boy Micah, and that's what caused Arya to hate him.
Yeah.
You could still tell that, like, he's a damaged soul. What his brother, the Mountain, did to him, holding his head into the fire.
Yeah.
He wasn't normally a bad person.
Yeah.
And I still don't think he's a bad... He had a code of honor even back then. And now you can see that, like, he's going on a path of redemption, which I like. Because I like him. I love the Hound.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
But,
I'm really interested because they've got to be playing this off as the Hound versus the Mountain. They're going to meet again. They have to meet again. There is no way that you would not have two amazing, beefy characters like that could take almost any damage done to them and just shrug it off.
And it's set up that they, like, the Hound always mentions how much he hates his brother and how much he wants to kill his brother. Even back in season 1, remember when the Mountain wanted to kill Loras Tyrell?
Yes.
And then the
after
Hound
after the duel.
Yeah, after the duel. So it's set up, it's foreshadowed that maybe, look, I don't know. I really don't know. I want to believe it.
Yeah.
But, if the Mountain is in King's Landing protecting Cersei and the Hound is heading north to the Wall, who knows if they're going to...
Well, after seeing his vision of the Wall of Ice, the
Yeah, the
army of the
fire.
dead...
Is that where they're going? Are they going to the wall?
Totally. Come on.
Or, or is he
But
going
why?
to say he's seen this vision of what's happening at the Wall with the army of the dead and the castle there, and possibly a way around the Wall that the army is going to come through? Do they even want to head up there? Do they want to hightail it away? Because he has shown he's going to actually leave a lot of battles unless he's emotionally invested in them. Like season 6, killing the band because the band of soldiers, or actually the raiders, because they'd killed the one person that understood him and said,
Ian McShane.
you don't have to actually fight if you don't want to.
I think he will, because this is important. I think he's become human enough that he cares about protecting humanity from the army of dead that's going to kill all of them.
I don't think they'll go to the Wall.
Okay.
I don't know where they're going, because the Brotherhood Without Banners, they've got no allegiance to anyone. They do what they want. So why would they go to the Wall?
If an army of dead creatures were coming to wipe out humanity, would that be in your best interest and the interest of the little people, to protect the little people by going there and fighting that?
No. I'd let other people do it for me. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'd want to leave too, but
That's what the Night's Watch is for.
yeah. I think
That's why you become like a Lord Commander, so then you can abandon the post because it's your word against all of the soldiers. You go, yeah, no, it's fine.
And have no one mention it at all in the like, I was expecting some of the other Northern Lords to mention,
Why aren't you doing your duty?
exactly.
No, I died for this. I'm good. I can go wherever I want now.
Either they don't believe him, or they do believe. Just mention it. Just say, "We believe you, John, that you died and that you came back to life."
Well, going back to John, when they're going through after the Battle of the Bastards, and Sansa and the other lords want to strip the Umbers and the Karstarks from their castles and their titles and everything, and he's like, we need to unite the North against the North and the White Walkers and everything that's coming down from here. We need to remain the stronghold.
Yeah.
When he's doing all of that, is he still thinking of his duties as the Lord Commander? Or is he thinking, I'm completely fine with this now, I'm going to stay here? Because Sansa, who is actually blood,
Yeah.
hasn't
She has
stepped
the
up.
name, yeah.
Everyone's sworn allegiance to Jon.
When it's rightfully Sansa's.
Yes.
But she seems okay. with it
And then
now.
technically it's Bran's. No one knows he's still alive, but
Yeah.
he is the last male descendant
Yeah.
of Ned Stark. Therefore, by the medieval times that they're from, technically it's his title.
Not even technically, it is his title.
Yeah.
Now that he's proven to be alive. I totally forgot about
But
Bran being
could
here.
could he take up that title now that he's the three-eyed raven?
He may not want to. That's right. He might be like, "This isn't for me. My duty is to being the three-eyed raven." Blah blah blah. Who knows? Well, look, can we agree that they're gonna find out that Bran is alive at the wall? Like Ed is gonna send a
Surely.
message to Jon.
Yeah.
Hey, your bro is still alive here.
Come pick him up.
Yeah, come pick
I'm
him
sick,
up.
I'm sick of his shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to carry him
He's
around all
he's
day.
like throwing up on the side of the road, like 2 in the morning, late at night from a party.
This guy had one too many ales. Someone pick him up. He can't even walk.
Oh.
Lazy bastard just lies in his bed all day.
Too many beers, he can't perform if you get what I'm...
You know how I knew you were at the pub all day? You left your wheelchair there. You crawled home.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Well, he left Hodor at back behind,
Yeah.
so therefore he's got no mode of transport.
Fuck Hodor. No, I'm kidding.
He was amazing.
Yeah,
Don't
he
you
was.
dare.
I'm kidding.
He's a good DJ as well.
Yeah, apparently he's a Rave of Thrones.
Yeah.
So, do you agree with Jon or Sansa? Because it's an
Jon.
interesting question. If a family fucks you over and betrays you, do you want to teach them a lesson and, you're fucking done. I'm done with you. Give the family, the castles to another family, or do you show mercy and you forgive the next generation? Well,
You can have everything against the leaders, but the second generation below them, if they're willing to follow through with their oaths and their family's word, then why wouldn't you? Sure, kill the people that would actually start all of this, and which they've done. Everyone that had allegiance to their fathers are now gone. Why hold something against the kids?
yeah, very wise. And that's exactly what Jon said as well.
And for everything that Sansa's had, why would she all of a sudden become all like this grudge holding person?
Do you know why? Do you want me to tell you why?
Yeah, do it.
Who was she pretty much raised by, like, for the past couple of years? Which home was she staying in? Who was holding her hostage? Which female?
Well, Cersei.
Correct. That's it.
But
That's what I was trying to say.
But
She learned from a bitch. She plays the game like Cersei.
you can't have that being the one thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So I agree with Jon in this situation. You, Jack? Jon did the right thing.
Josh, definitely. What do you reckon?
Jon did the right thing. But what Littlefinger?
Correct.
What's his angle? You can't.
I
love him, but you can't fucking trust him.
He's been leaning against that wall, smirking
Yeah.
his sly little smirk for like the last 2 episodes of last season and this episode now as well. He's up to something.
He's such a scheming little weasel.
But what does Lord Baelish actually really need from everything?
Okay, so we know that
aside from Sansa, which
Yeah.
he wants.
He wants Sansa and he wants the Iron Throne.
But how does he think that he could get that for himself? In no way has he ever had the ability to do that.
Yeah.
He's a pimp.
Yeah.
Literally, in the books.
He's a pimp. He's
In
a
the
brothel
books, he's
owner.
a sex slaver. Yeah, he in the books, which isn't done in the show, but like he sends Sansa's friend into sex slavery, and she's like fucking 12, 13. He's a real monster.
Such a good character though.
No, he is. He's fascinating. He is fascinating. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Littlefinger and Varys.
Yeah,
2 of my favorite characters.
2 of my favorites, especially when they were hanging out back in the day.
Yeah.
The first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I loved what they were up to. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think Littlefinger's gonna do now?
I honestly don't know.
He's obviously trying to put a wedge between Jon and Sansa, or he will. He will try.
Yeah.
He's trying to nurture that. Jack?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. He's
Yeah.
got an angle. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Because no matter what happens, he's got his hands in everything.
Yeah.
And he's slowly being a puppeteer,
Yeah.
controlling little choices. Not huge decisions, just small choices that eventually do impact people, to remind them that he somehow still has all of this control that no one actually sees.
He knows that, Sansa's supposed to be the rightful heir. She's the true born Stark with the Stark surname.
Even though everyone's actually ended up swearing allegiance to Jon.
Correct.
Who is a bastard
Correct.
and therefore should hold no titles.
Correct. So Littlefinger's totally gonna... and it works out perfect for him because he desires Sansa in that way.
Yep.
And that ties in with Sansa being the proper heir to Winterfell and not Jon. He's gonna either try to, lean... Because already Sansa's, underwhelmed Jon during that meeting with the other Northern Lords.
Yeah.
And Littlefinger's not stupid. He saw that. So he's going to use that.
Yeah. Because when the scene with Jon and Sansa and talking about what their next plan is, and Jon wants to protect them from the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Sansa wants to protect them from the Lannisters.
Yeah.
Who's the bigger threat?
Correct. Good question. My opinion is the White Walkers are a bigger threat, and here's why, for two reasons. Not only literally are they a bigger threat because they're fucking ice demons, but also because Cersei has no power to take the North. Like, logistics are a real thing in Game of Thrones. Weather and geography are a real thing. Now that winter has come, the snow's in the north, the southern armies, they can't march north into a snowy landscape and just fucking take over Winterfell. They're in the wrong environment.
They're ill-equipped for that.
Correct.
However, the Lannisters always view everything as possessions. She believes in her heart that she owns everything.
Correct.
Now that she's crowned herself queen of everything.
Correct.
As the first of her name.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she just go, yep, I don't care, go up there and get this for me?
If she did do that, she'd be fucked. She just realistically can't. Also, there's that castle Moat Cailin in the neck between Winterfell. You guys can't see this, but I'm drawing a map for Jack and Josh here.
But Jaime would do that for her. He would do anything for her. And they've got no kids now, so he's still going to feel like he's indebted because he was not able to hold.
But they physically can't
protect everything for her.
I think Sansa's wrong here, personally, because they physically can't take... Like, if you can look at this I drew this little crappy map of the north and the south.
It's an hourglass.
It's an hourglass with a little dot in the middle. Like geographically, there's an actual war term for it. What's the word for
bottleneck?
Is it bottleneck?
Essentially, yeah.
Or there's another term. I'll look it up. We'll look it up later. A squeeze? What's it called? Pull that shit up, Jamie.
No. Tapping out.
I'll look. Anyway, we dragged it on for too long. But the way that the neck is shaped, you can't just cross north past Moat Cailin. If they've set an army there in that fortress, blocking the neck, and the way that the structure of the geography, southern armies can't cross there. They're fucked. They have to pass through that one fortress, which would be heavily armed, I'm assuming, by Jon if he's a smart king. So, what I'm saying is the Lannisters are not a threat.
They have a lot of ships now.
No, that's true, actually.
They have a lot of ships.
I forgot about Euron, Rockstar, Jacket, Greyjoy.
Yeah. Speaking of Rockstar, cameo central in this episode.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Rockstar, I totally meant that.
Yeah. What was, aside from just exposure, what was the point?
Don't get me started on Ed Sheeran.
Look,
he invented a song just for the part and then tried to get the lackeys to sing with him, and then he clearly wasn't happy with it.
He looks like an alien.
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
Just prejudice against redheads. Look, normally I don't give a fuck. I don't care normally. But if they just wouldn't, if the director didn't have Ed Sheeran fucking winking slyly at the camera every 2 seconds, ding. If they didn't yeah, we get it. You're Ed Sheeran. That's what was annoying me.
It was very annoying.
Yeah. Would Ed Sheeran have bothered you guys if he was just there, just sitting there and like singing the song? Because that's what they did in old season. The dude from Snow Patrol, he was just riding with the other brotherhood that band is in season 3 or whatever, singing.
Yeah.
And then during the Red Wedding, they had the drummer of Coldplay. He was just in the Red Wedding. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay,
No.
the drummer of Coldplay was part of the Red Wedding.
Right.
What's his name? Will Champion or whatever. He was just whatever.
Artists, yeah, unless I've actually gone, I 100% listen to you all the time, or the missus is just like, I love this guy, you have to buy me tickets to his concert. Yeah, I don't care.
Who cares? Coldplay drama was just, they didn't even bring attention to it.
Yeah.
So the point is, with Ed Sheeran, they brought attention to the fact that he's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Honestly, every time he opened his mouth, all I could hear was just
I'm in love with your body.
No, the song that he did for Lord of the Rings, the Magic Mountain or something. What was it? Like
I don't know the Enya song for Lord of the Rings.
Mystic Mountain.
It was just unnecessary.
Yeah.
You didn't need Ed Sheeran singing it. No one gave a fuck that it was him singing it.
Yeah.
It made you cringe.
Not a fan of his music, personally. Like, I don't have anything against him.
There's so many people that like the music, so that's fine. It was
Yeah.
just that they overdid him as a character for the episode. He wasn't required for it.
Yeah. What if they just had Ed Sheeran, like in past cameos, just sitting with the army? He sang his song, but the camera wasn't focusing on his face.
If he was not one of the lead parts of... He was clearly the second in charge because they couldn't make him the leader because otherwise that would have been too much.
Yeah.
They should have just left him as a lackey and barely starred him at all. Just
Yeah.
had him there.
Yeah.
He can sing, that's fine. That's part of the character that he was playing. But he didn't need to be one of the biggest parts about it.
Yeah.
And then it was an overplayed cameo.
Yeah. He totally deleted his Twitter account over it. Did you hear a few days after the episode aired, he deleted his Twitter account? Who knows if it's related to his cameo?
No, that was not something I heard.
But Cersei, yeah.
There was what I was reading about the other day was in the scene with Jamie.
Yeah.
In the scene with Jamie where they're standing on the painting of the land.
Yeah, Westeros, yeah.
Where you mentioned before the neck.
Yeah.
Cersei's standing on the neck.
Uh-huh.
Jamie is standing on the fingers.
Yeah. Can we go to that? Because we've got the episode here with us.
So it's a
Yeah,
little-
yeah, go on.
So, if you
We're
remember,
watching it now.
I can't remember what season it was when it showed Cersei as a teenager.
Season 5.
Season 5,
The Prophecy.
the prophecy.
Uh-huh. I think I know where you're going with this.
She said
Go on.
all of her children would die,
Mm-hmm.
and then prophesized her death.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the prophecy said or how she would die.
I totally know this because I'm a book nerd.
Yeah.
When your children... I'm paraphrasing here, but the prophecy was that Cersei heard when she was a little girl, when all your children are dead, the Volonkar will wrap his hands around your throat,
Yes.
around your neck.
Yes.
Volonkar being High Valyrian for little brother or little sibling.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see where you're
And
going.
Jamie is
Yes.
standing on the fingers.
Yes.
Cersei is standing on the neck.
Yes.
And she's becoming a mad queen who wants just revenge on all of her enemies, wants to just pound all of her enemies into the ground.
Josh, you are
Jamie-
That's a really good pick up.
Jamie's he'll come to realise that she's a fucking psycho,
Yeah.
and I reckon he'll be the one to kill her.
He's taking too fucking long though.
Whether or not that's...
As the Kingslayer,
Yeah.
it's his job.
From King to Queenslayer.
I doubt that it's going to happen until at least the last season.
I think the SJWs would be happy that he's not showing prejudice to only the men.
Of course.
So the women are getting a chance to have their queen slayed. But dude, holy shit, she's standing on the neck and he's standing on the fingers.
Well, he's off to the side, so he slowly goes around.
Oh, there we go.
So it's obvious.
So there you've got the fingers
Yeah,
there.
totally.
She's standing on the neck.
Totally.
He's gonna kill that bitch.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking. He's the Volonka. Because the obvious answer is that it's Jaime. Like, the prophecy says that a younger sibling of Volonka of Cersei is gonna wrap his hands around her throat and kill her. She thinks that it's Tyrion.
In saying that, hand, not hands.
Is it hand or hands?
Who knows? But he's only got one.
Oh. Well done. He technically has two. He's
Imagine
golden
that.
hand.
How good would it be for a Lannister to be strangled by gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
We should probably mention there may be some spoiler alerts in this podcast. They're all fan theories. Nothing's been.
Nah, that's not a spoiler because it's a theory. And also, just FYI, we're assuming that you've watched episode 1 already while we're doing this podcast. Obviously, you guys have seen the episode.
I'll make sure that the spoiler alerts are in the title and all of that.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah, that's a really cool observation. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. It probably isn't. They probably know what they're doing.
Nothing's a coincidence.
Yeah,
in
nothing's
this
a
show.
coincidence. That's touche. I'm trying to make excuses here. Yeah. Jon is a Targaryen, by the way. That's something that we totally have been ignoring. And now the end of the episode is Daenerys landing on Dragonstone,
yeah,
the home of her birth. The story has come full circle, everyone. She was born as a baby on Dragonstone, Daenerys Stormborn during a storm, and now she's finally come home. And what did you think of the sequence of her walking through Dragon? Like, no dialogue, she touched the sand. It was emotional. I liked it personally.
I thought it was a little bit drawn out. That was too long.
But do you think that was the
But-
point, to make a point about this is the moment where Daenerys,
yeah.
for 7 seasons, or 6 I should say, she's been pouncing around in the East.
I just didn't feel.
it seemed like it was too long to be an afterthought, but the whole idea of it when it was at the end was kind of as an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
For her scene, it just didn't flow like everything else does.
With the rest of the episode.
Yeah, it was at odds with the entire
I see what
conflict
you're
that
saying.
the episode was creating.
The pace slowed down by the end when she was walking through Dragon. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I do like that she pulled down a Stannis banner. Like, that's a nice little continuity. Obviously, Stannis owned the castle in the past.
Yeah.
And his banner was there.
At least she goes to the war room and has a look at it after going through the throne and going, okay, this is next.
Yeah, shall we begin? It was a good way of ending it. But my point is, okay, so Daenerys is finally fucking home in Westeros after 6 seasons of pouncing around. Yay. Now, obviously, we know that Jon is
A Targaryen.
a
as well.
Targaryen. His father was Rhaegar, the brother of Daenerys. How do you think that's going to play in with Daenerys landing? And how do you think his Targaryen blood plays into it?
Whatever she does as Mother of Dragons, Jon can claim ownership of.
That's true. He's male.
As he's technically the male lineage. So he's the male lineage.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's his. He can walk in at any time, provided he can fight her specifically for it and the loyalty of the people that follow her.
Oh, could he really do it? Could he just because he's a male Targaryen, could he just take everything she fucking owned and...
Technically he could, but I don't think he will.
Here's the question. This is very important. Okay, so he's a Targaryen. His father was Rhaegar. Is he still a bastard or not? Is he still illegitimate? Or is he a true-born Targaryen? Because obviously Rhaegar was married to Elia Martell, the sister of Oberyn Martell. If you're already married, you can't fucking marry again and take a second wife. Legally, Jon should still be a bastard if Rhaegar just ran off with Lyanna and had Jon with her. What do you think? Do you think he's illegitimate?
Yeah.
Because the Targaryens did take more than one wife historically.
Yeah.
But they're not supposed to do that. Is Jon legally a Targaryen, or is he still a bastard? Just not a Stark bastard.
He's gone from being one bastard to another bastard.
That bastard.
Well, he's finally got some sort of legitimacy by everyone swearing allegiance to him.
As a Stark.
Which they've started calling him a Stark now. How does that translate to later? what is he going to allow this to happen after talking with Sansa about it?
Well, if people find out that he's now got Targaryen blood, is he still going to be? He's totally not going to be king in the North anymore. So
Yeah, well, he's going to be still a king of the North because he'll have still been the king of the North because he's still Lord Commander. Therefore, he's still got to be the person that will rule the North from the Wall.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, so he's half Targaryen. Even if he's not legitimately a Targaryen, in terms of blood, he's half Targaryen.
Yeah.
Do you think he could fucking control a dragon?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
End. Let's go home now.
Daenerys's brother wasn't fireproof, and dragons weren't. Well,
Yeah,
in saying that,
but,
he didn't
but
exactly.
Viserys was a little weasel though. Jon's
Yeah.
not a weasel. Jon's probably more of a Targaryen in terms of his heart than Viserys ever was.
Speaking of his heart, is it still beating?
That's a good question. Dude, we're totally all over the place. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. Do you think he's dead, like as in a zombie dead?
No.
Or do you think he's alive, like true resurrection that his heart's beating?
Resurrected, like, what was the...
Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah.
Is he dead or is he alive, Beric Dondarrion?
I reckon he's alive.
So could Beric bleed if you cut him again, or could he fucking get a woman pregnant? Like, does Jon still have sperm, like biological sperm in him, or is he a dead body? No, I'm asking because that's
that
a
is
good
the
question.
weirdest thing. Why not just say, has he got a heartbeat and does he have blood flowing through him?
No, but
that's literally all you
You
need
don't
to
have
ask.
to... Can he blow his load still?
The sperm question is important because obviously that one of the biggest recurring themes or whatever. Lineage, exactly. The obsession with passing on your blood, your seed. Can Jon have a child either with Daenerys if they join their houses, or with Sansa? Some people theorize that him and Sansa are gonna get married because they're gonna find out that they're just cousins, not full siblings. I mean, not even full siblings, half siblings.
Passing notes, like this is like 4th grade stuff.
Yeah. Do we?
I don't
Like,
know.
is he gonna? Do you think he'll marry Daenerys?
I don't think he'll marry anyone.
You think?
I don't think he'll...
His story ends with him either dying or just staying like the lone hero
Yes.
without Jack, do you think?
Well,
How do you think the story ends for Jon Snow?
I don't think he's ever going to get over the wildling that he loved.
Oh, Egret. Well, he has to.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. No one has
He
to
has to.
technically do everything. Yeah,
He has to move on.
Yeah. He couldn't fall in love with Sansa and marry her.
That'd be... If they go in that direction, I don't agree with that.
That is the weirdest way to legitimize the owning of the North between the two of them, and finally... Because then that is the true alliance of the North.
I totally fucking forgot.
He is the adopted son. He is not blood. Therefore, he's got a completely separate last name. He could go in that direction.
Correct. And he reunites the Targaryens with the Starks.
Yes.
I totally forgot about that. Good fucking observation, Jack.
How will they find out, though? How will they find out that Jon...
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let you guys...
Is it in the books?
No, I mean, like, it's obvious how he's going to find out. Well, how did we find out as the audience that Jon was a Targaryen?
Through Bran.
Yeah. Done. And where is Bran right now?
At the wall.
And is the wall very far from Winterfell? Or is it very close from Winterfell?
So, in saying that, Bran has a lot of things on his mind. Or, well, some of them aren't even on his mind. It's through other people's minds that he's watching.
I think it might be important to let Jon know because that ties in with the White Walkers. If he reveals to Jon that he's a Targaryen, then the dragon riding bullshit... Oh, sorry, I've got gas from the beers.
Well, in saying that, is he going to end up being fireproof or iceproof from coming back from the dead?
Who knows? Because that's what Rhaegar wanted. Obviously, Rhaegar Targaryen, the elder brother of Viserys and Daenerys, he believed in prophecy and he foretold the White Walkers, blah, blah, blah. That's what's theorized. That's why he hooked up with Lyanna, because he wanted to join Ice and Fire, Stark and Targaryen. That's what he pretty much wanted. He wanted a baby that was both Ice and Fire. So the question is, did Rhaegar get what he wanted? Did he get with Jon? Do you think he has the Fire Targaryenness as well as the Starkness? He looks like a Stark, and he's got all the warging of the Starks, possessing ghost and shit. Does he have the fire? Can he control? Can he control a dragon as well? Or will he be able to?
I don't think they'll explore the dragon aspect of it.
You don't think?
No.
Do you think it's just more of like a hereditary thing?
You cannot have him randomly come in and then take ownership of dragons from the mother of dragons.
No, of course
they're not going to listen to him.
He just jumps on it and rides off.
Yeah.
Hey, auntie, I totally gotta borrow your ride for a sec. I've got a party to go to.
This is mine now.
It's mine now. Just okay, honey, be home. Honey, she just she throws John the keys to her dragon.
I've got to take out some White Walkers to this huge party I've got up in the north. You know, it's gonna really heat things up.
Stops at like a fucking 7-Eleven to buy some Arbor Gold. I'm fucking hilarious today. But yeah, look, it'll be exciting to see the future of this. You know, Jon's Targaryen-esque. They're totally going to meet in the next episode, episode 2.
Yes.
Jon, now that Daenerys has landed, everything's fucking coming together now. Like, Jon's going to meet with Daenerys, and obviously Tyrion is there. Remember when Tyrion totally knows who Jon is?
Yeah.
Because back in season 1, they went to the wall together.
Yeah.
Jon's going to meet Tyrion again. And if Davos goes with Jon, I have a feeling that maybe Melisandre is somehow going to meet them on the way. Maybe they're going to ride south on horseback. Because we've forgotten about Melisandre.
Where is she?
Yeah.
Well, how annoyed is Bran going to be after all of this getting to the wall? You got to go back to, Winterfell. All right. Someone can be a horse this time.
No, look, you joke about that, but it'd be easier. Like the Night's Watch would give him like a cart or something, or like a way to.
Well, he's got no Hodor anymore. So.
Exactly. No, but he's got the resources now, especially as the heir, as like a Stark of Winterfell. They'll give him a fucking a limousine.
They'll have to rig up. Can you remember in season 1 where they rigged up the brace for him to ride the horse?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
They'll have to build one of them for him.
But they don't have a Meister to make that happen.
Yeah,
that's true. Oh, poor Maester Lewin, he got killed in like season 2 or whatever. What else can we talk about? We're winding down now. We've covered all the areas. What'd you guys think of the episode overall? Your opinion on it as an episode of Game of Thrones. Forget about the fact that it's season 7 and we're nearing the end of the series. Just as an episode.
The bit that got me most excited was the 10-second clip that showed the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was standard Game of Thrones episode. Nothing. There's a lot of foreshadowing. Nothing dramatic really happened.
Other than the beginning,
and then
I think that was my favourite part.
Yeah.
Arya
killing
at the start, killing all of the Freys.
Yeah.
And then the end where
Daenerys lands,
which I thought they drew out a little bit too long.
They did look with that scene. They did draw it out, but it was progressing the story forward. Now we've got Daenerys finally fucking on Westeros.
Yeah.
Instead of 10 seasons of her fucking eating grapes on a fucking seat in Marine, just like being fucking feathered by a leaf by like servants. Finally, she got off her ass and got home. Yeah. So in that sense, the episode did progress the story. It was kind of a bit slow for a season 7.
Season opener.
Second last.
Season openers they're meant to lead into the entire storylines that they're trying to get across in that season.
So they did the job, is that what you're saying, Jack?
They did that job, but they could have done it a different way because there were so many different storylines that are going through that didn't need to wind up. They've kind of wish-washed and made it just like, this is happening, now this is happening, now this is happening, rather than actually just throw it all at you and let you piece together what's happening. That was like some of my favourite parts about Game of Thrones was when they were doing all of the prior seasons, they actually just were like, here's this happening. At the same time, this is happening somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
Work out what's actually going on.
Yeah. I've noticed that in recent seasons, as the books have finished and now they're writing on their own, David Benioff and Dan Weiss, it's kind of been dumbed down a bit, hasn't it, the show? It's a little bit more tropey and like spoon feeding audiences.
Been a lot more simplified.
Correct. That's the word. You phrased it better than me. Simplified. Yeah.
There's less of don't have a favorite character because they're gonna die. It's more to do with it's going, but
Yeah.
yeah. But like all of the characters that you love, there's hanging on rather than I don't like him, kill him.
Yeah.
Joffrey, it took ages. Everyone hated him, and then he died.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had that little inner joy.
It's that was well done. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Because they built him up that you hate him, and then they killed him when you grew to hate him. You either grow to love a character or hate a character, and then they killed him off.
Yeah.
And I like that he died in episode 2 as well. Like just the second episode of season 4 is when
it's just random.
they kill off this major character, and you could tell that he was lead. Obviously, I knew what was happening because I've read the books. But like, could you guys tell as audience watchers during the Purple Wedding leading up to Joffrey's death, something was going to happen?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Something to someone was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the things like the Red Wedding, where it was just like off base, just everyone dies.
Yeah.
Just who cares? Everybody dies.
Fucking
That
sad,
I
man.
loved that
Yeah.
sort of thing. It was like, okay, I've got at least 3 favorite characters amongst this. Just kill them all
Yeah.
for no reason.
For
It's
no
like,
reason.
whoa.
I've legitimately only been shocked in 2 parts of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Like shocked where like, I've had just my mouth left wide open.
Yeah.
They were.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah.
And then even though you could see it coming, Oberyn.
Yeah.
You knew that it was going to happen, but the way that he died
it still
was
makes me
so
tense.
fucked up.
Yeah.
And, oh my
The
god!
great
I'll
thing
never
about
forget it.
the great thing about Game of Thrones is that like when you see a scene like Oberyn walking around the mountain, it's such a realistic story where you scream at the screen, "What the fuck are you doing? Move 3 feet backwards. Step 3 feet backwards, you idiots."
You've got a fucking spear. Stand back and just stick it through his
Yeah,
face.
Yeah.
fair enough. You want to ponce around and not finish him off? Fine. Can you just move backwards a little bit? Jesus fucking Christ, he fucked up there really bad.
He should have really just finished it.
Yeah.
Like that was playing with your food.
Yeah.
That was totally playing with your
I
food.
like how that ended, that they both just die. Like, it does kind of... I know it's a cliche, but the whole turning tropes on your head. When you see a duel in any fiction, like, you always expect either one person to win or the other person to win. In that case, they both lost.
Yeah, and
Which
now, but no, you've still got the mountain.
Yeah.
As he's fucking scary.
Yeah.
He is so scary. I get tense every time he's on the screen.
When he fucking literally fucked up the Scepter Unella or whatever at the end of last season.
So when he just popped his head against
It's
the
like-
wall,
Well,
where he just grabbing...
the what do you call it? When she was chained down on that table, that fucking
Oh,
scepter.
yeah.
We all know what it did to her.
Shame.
Shame. Yeah, we all know what it did to her. But yeah, final thoughts on the episode. I'm going to say it was a fine episode opener. The pace was a little bit slow for season 7, last 2 seasons, but it was still fairly solid. And now that you said, Josh, that the last season is going to be feature-length episodes, that makes me feel better about the pace being a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the Hound. The Hound is awesome.
Yep.
They progress the story with A, Arya killing the Freys.
Yes.
B, Daenerys finally landing on Dragonstone, which is supposed to be a big moment. I felt neutral to it, but it's a big homecoming.
Yeah.
And another little scene, which you might not think of this as progressing the story, but I thought of it in this way. Just Bran arriving at the wall, and they let him in.
It's big.
It lets us know that Bran is back in the north, the proper north.
Yeah.
And he's totally going to fucking find his way to Winterfell again.
It's a big moment for Bran, but it is something that seemed, again, as much as I really enjoy it, the first episode seemed too paced. It was like either inkling at things or just took forever to do one thing.
Yeah.
It's like that they were trying to hide so many things for the next episode that they didn't actually go, here's anything for the first one.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that the first episode and last episodes of Game of Thrones, 1 and 10, they set shit up or wrapping shit up. It's always episode 9, that's like the climactic moment of every episode, and then season 10 wraps things up, and then season 1 of the following season...
Episode.
Yeah. episode 1 of the following season is setting things up. So I think they did what they normally fucking do.
Yeah.
It's just that for season 7, we're probably expecting
more.
But
Yeah.
what do you think, Josh?
It was a decent episode,
Yeah.
but
What didn't you guys like? Like, obviously we've talked about what we didn't like, but we'll go through. I'm going to say the Ed Sheeran thing. Normally, I don't care if you have it. Like, normally, I don't care. But maybe don't have him winking ding at the fucking camera, smirking. Oh, what did he say? It's a new one. When what song is that? Arya asks him, and he's like, oh, it's a new one. Ding.
yeah,
That's going to be on the title of my next album.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm in love with your body.
That was Ed Sheeran was my least favorite part of the episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a good episode.
But do you like... We totally forgot to talk about this, but I'm going to squeeze this in now. Do you like that it showed that even the enemy just have soldiers who are just normal? Like, it's not a black... Because that was the point of the scene. The point of the scene was to show that it's not a black and white world where the Starks are the heroes and the Lannisters are the enemies. These Lannister soldiers were just humans, normal people. Arya wanted to kill them, but then she saw that they had families and that they were kind to her as well.
They're wrapped up in more.
It humanizes everyone.
Correct. Again, Josh phrased it nicer than I ever would have. Humanized them. Yeah, well done.
Who do you want? When the entire series is finished, who do you want to win?
John.
Who do you think will win?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Actually, I'd say no one would win. Like, George R. R. Martin, the author of the novels, has said the ending will be bittersweet. So it's not going to be a fucking cartoonishly evil ending.
Yeah.
But who knows if there's even going to be an Iron Throne? Who knows if Daenerys will be queen? Who knows if it'll end that way? Who knows if Littlefinger will still be alive? That fucker, I hope he dies eventually.
I want Varys to rule everything.
I love Varys.
Yeah, I love Varys
him
as well. Even the actor's great.
Yeah.
Conleth Hill, yeah. Hopefully we'll see more of Varys in the future.
He also is like through everything. He's got
fingerprints all over. Yeah, he's got his fingerprints on everything.
Yeah.
But
he's the true puppet master.
Yeah.
And he came from nothing. He's a foreigner with no dick.
Yeah.
You can't get any lower class than that. A foreigner with no dick and no balls.
Yeah.
And he rose up. And he's a true player. When the show is called Game of Thrones, right? When I think of Game of Thrones, as in playing the game, I think of Littlefinger and Varys and maybe a few others. But they're like the players. I think of players.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh, of like... Yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent. What do you think of the final episode? Like,
I give it...
Pros and cons. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
There's nothing apart from Ed Sheeran. There was nothing that I didn't like about it, but there was nothing that I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing about it. So it's 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Solid
The
7
That's actually pretty good. That's a good rating. And again, first episodes of Game of Thrones seasons, they tend to just be setting shit up.
Yeah.
So for us, episode 1 of Game of Thrones, what do you think? Is it?
Yes.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 by the numbers episode.
It's true to its roots about all of this season. It's just every season starts off the same sort of thing. It doesn't like grip you initially. It slowly ties it through. But
Correct.
I really love the initial grip that Arya had at the Freys and the White Walkers. But then it kind of wish-washed through everything. So I did really enjoy it. But there was just so many things just like nitpicking that I didn't really love.
That's fair. And I totally see where you're coming from. I pretty much agree with both Jack and Josh. I was happy with it. I'm not going to complain and whinge other than Ed Sheeran. And that's actually my maybe Euron's jacket. No, I like Euron's jacket, whatever. It was fun. I liked the episode. And even though the ending could have been faster paced and done better, I like that Daenerys landed on Dragonstone. And now finally the story has come full circle and we're coming towards the ending. And yeah. Welcome to season 7 of Game of Thrones. Final words, guys.
Thanks for joining us at the pool room.
Yeah. We're totally going to have a match after this, but yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Josh, any final words to say?
No, not at all. I actually hope the White Walkers win.
So do I. That'd be hot. Well, it'd be cold. We'll see you again for our second episode of the podcast where we'll be discussing episode 2. Hopefully we'll do it soon. And thanks for listening. And to all you Game of Thrones fans, enjoy the next coming weeks. Episode 3 will be this Monday. Obviously, you know that. That's exciting. Take care till then. I'm Sam.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Josh.
Have a good night.